I like gimmicks. Without the Wiimote, Wii Sports is a lackluster collection of bare-bones sports games. The gimmick of swinging the Wiimote around and being a danger to friends and pets in your proximity is what makes the game fun. Folks often use the term gimmick to belittle a game, but games built around a core mechanic, idea, or interaction can be fun because of it. Alien Rogue Incursion was originally a VR game, and that's clear with all the levers to pull, things to slot into other things, and dozens of physics objects littering every room, there for the sole purpose of allowing you to fiddle with them. So I was curious what Survivos would change to make a fundamentally VR game into a PC and console game you play with a controller. And the answer is nothing. All those physical interactions are reduced to button prompts. It would be neat if they changed the interactions, turning them into a series of mini games you had to do in the right order while xenomorphs climbed out of vents around you, but that isn't the case. The potential thrill of slotting a thing into the correct spot based on your interaction is gone, replaced with button prompts you can only fail by not pressing. So if the gimmick is gone, what's left? A linear first-person shooter where you walk from one section to another for scripted encounters that can hardly be described as set-piece moments. The framework is there. Uneven ceilings, vents in the walls, obstacles xenomorphs can climb over but you can't exist, but aren't utilized to make tense situations. Nearly every encounter boils down to just waiting for a xenomorph to show up and shooting it. There's some horror elements, like having limited ammo and healing item carrying capacity, but it's rarely tense because I was tripping over ammo and health while my inventory was full. I only ran out of supplies in one section of my 7-hour playthrough. Gameplay also suffers because there's only one kind of xenomorph, aside from one boss, with no variation on their behavior or abilities. They're spongy and don't react to your gunfire besides stuttering until they finally ragdoll. A good story can provide enough motivation to muscle through boring gameplay, but the story is lacking as well. You and your synthetic partner crash land on a Weyland-Yutani facility that, surprise, is secretly experimenting on xenomorphs. Late game spoilers means I can't talk much about what happens, but none of the characters are engaging, none of the plot points resolve in any fascinating ways, and every event feels like it's only happening so you can have an excuse to go to the next section. A number of small issues added up to be a real annoyance. Sometimes sounds wouldn't play, the flashlight turns off anytime you interact with something, such as the electrical panel minigame or a facehugger jumping on you, and auto-aim often pulls your fire away from enemies, to the point where I had to just switch it off. The audio balancing is also incredibly off. Several times I had different NPCs start different chains of dialogue and talk over each other, and during the boss fight, the voices were so quiet compared to the sound effects, I couldn't hear my partner telling me how to defeat the boss. Performance-wise, I had one soft lock where a xenomorph wouldn't spawn in a section I had to clear out before the doors unlocked, but a restart fixed it. The game also crashed on startup or wouldn't load 9 times, though after enough attempts, it did eventually boot. No part of Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition is worth your time. Unengaging shooting, uninspired exploration, an unremarkable story that ends in a cliffhanger teasing part 2, and no memorable spectacle in any set piece make it as dull and repetitive as the gunmetal gray paneling that makes up the entire facility. Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition is available September 30th for $29.99 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S.